So here outside the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C., there are a number of protests taking place in the form of Israeli flags here and also posters on the wall showing some of the hostages that are still being held by Hamas. Those, of course, in support of Israel's actions that are continuing against Hamas in Gaza. We also have, though, more pro-Palestinian protests happening as well. You can hear that very loud siren going on behind me, and that's actually, so the protesters say, to recreate this noise and to make sure that the Israeli embassy doesn't get any peace, reflective of the type of situation that people are suffering from in Gaza right now. We know about 30,000 people have died in the conflict over the last 5 months. And in fact, just a few days ago on Sunday, there was a very strong form of protest from a US serviceman, an airman, 25-year-old Aaron Bushnell, who actually doused himself in liquid and set himself on fire, self-immolation, in form of protests because of some of the US action in Israel. The US does continue to support Israel with military aid to the tune of billions of dollars. And it continues to support Israel's right to defend itself. That's what we've heard from the Pentagon just again this week. But Aaron Bushnell, in his last words, said, "Free Palestine." It was shown in a video on social media. His friends say they were aware of his stance, that he was supportive of Palestinians, but not that he was going to essentially kill himself in this way. The Pentagon says the military will investigate, and that's pretty usual for a serviceman that dies in this type of way. But ultimately, they do support the right for Israel to defend itself. Now, there are ongoing protests happening here in Washington, D.C., but we are likely to see over the weekend more protests. On Saturday, there's going to be a nationwide Free Palestinian protest in which we're likely to see many more people pushing for the United States, for the White House, to do more to stop Israel action in Gaza. Caroline Malone, CGTN, Washington.